So I brought two finished pieces that is the same construction method of using the tar paper. This time I'm going to use a different thickness of the tar paper, which is slightly thinner than the one we had last time. The one we have, the square construction, is number 30, a little bit firmer. This one is number 15. Okay. And we have a big roll right there in the corner, right by the wall. It's a big roll, so you can just cut out a little bit. And then just use a pencil to trace it. And I have two sizes here. Okay, you're gonna do a little bit larger one, or a little bit smaller one, that one. And you just, I brought out more pencils here, so you just trace it, and then use the scissors. We have the scissors there to cut it. Okay, so that is how we cut our template. Here I already have this one. I'm going to use this one to do my demonstration. I already rolled my slab from the slab roller and put the texture over. This time I'm making it slightly thinner because the picture is going to contain some water. So if the wall is too thick, too heavy, because when you have a liquid inside, it's going to be too heavy. So make your wall slightly thinner. That is my thickness of the wall compared with our last one. A little bit less than quarter of an inch. Okay, a little bit less than quarter of an inch. Now I am going to use this template and then just stick it to just like we did from our first tar paper method. And remember, you want to stick it along. What do you do? Water, right? So use a sponge to wet it. Wet your tar paper first. And you see the print is not printed on the tar paper. It was from, I reused this one for many times. So the print is from my pattern here. I wrote it on. So in case you are wondering why I have a pattern on my tar paper, no, it's from the clay. Okay. So wet it. Let's just find the composition. So this part here is good. Put it on. And you want to apply slightly pressure to make sure your tar paper is sticking onto the clay. But you don't want to push it too hard because you don't want to lose your texture. That's enough to get the tar paper to stick on. In the meantime, I'm going to reserve a part of the section here for my base. Okay. I'm going to turn it into a oval shape, so this part should be good. Okay, let me cut it out.
Love that knife.
This knife? Yeah.
That clay planet, your knife.
Yeah, it's my knife number 10. Okay, this is my number 10 knife.
Is it number 10?
Put it aside, and then later I'm going to use that to make the base out of it. The reason I'm design this blade, this knife is because it's thinner blade, so we have less resistance. So you don't have, if you are using the needle, usually you have some clay coming up from there. So that's why I designed this, and also this knife is easier if you want to do the like the piercing, carving the pumpkin face. This go in there, yeah, much easier. Yeah.
Two uses.
Yeah.
Oh, you use that for the pumpkin?
Yeah, cut, not for pumpkin. The pumpkin is going to be too hard.
Oh, the
But
fine detail.
cut out of the clay, like if you want to do like a little something, right? You want to cut something there. It's much easier, right? Because you have a less resistance.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the main design for this tool.
Pumpkin clay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pumpkin season now, so. All right, so now I'm gonna pick it up.
Shen, you don't have to cut the sides in an angle to.
No, this time I'm going to join differently. Last time we kind of cut 45 degrees and then do that. But this time I'm gonna overlap it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, overlap it. So first, you are going to bend your tar paper. The reason why we are using the thinner tar paper is that it's easier to bend it. Okay? It's not as stiff as the number 30. Bend it, right? And you are forming the shape like that. You can open up this part here slightly on the edge here. Open up. Okay, maybe open up this way so you will be able to see it, right? And then you can overlap in it, or if you want, you can cut 45 degrees. But this time I'm going to show you the overlapping method. You are going to put it one on top of it, right? Of course, you want to put some slip over. Yeah, the toothbrush method is good because you can generate the slip and also use cord. You do it all at once. A little bit overlapping the bottom first, and then make sure they stick. And here. Slightly pinch so it's sticking together more or less, and then you are going to compress it. Okay, this when you do two parts together, you need to have slip and pressure. Slip and pressure is very important. So I am going to have a little bit of a support on the inside, something like this cylinder inside, right? And then you're gonna use the rolling pin. Let me get a smaller one. A small roller also is good too. You don't need to use the rolling pin. Okay. Small roller. Make sure you don't lose the position. A little bit of a pressure. Usually I don't do it this way. I do it close to me, but for the camera and for you guys, so I do it this way. Otherwise, it's easy on my side to do this.
But then the packet is flattened, right?
Yeah, so that the reason why that we put it right here is that the handle is gonna disguise it. Okay. So once you have a handle, it's very hard to see that you lose your pattern. If you wanted to, you bring back the mat and then you kind of slightly push it in. So you will get your pattern back if you want to have a pattern there. Or you can do some other kind of decoration, like after you do it, right, and you just do something differently, right? Like that. I can do that too, right? Okay, so kind of you don't need to do, because it's hide behind the handle, so it's not a big deal. But you want to make sure that it's really a good compression, so I'm going to do it further. I can pick it up now. I think it's strong enough. And once you use the roller to roll it, the bottom is now not straight now, right? So you could slightly trim it, or you can slightly pound it on the table. I'm going to trim it a little bit.
If you use the 45 degree, is it going to be better as a less material?
Yeah, then you will have less stretching, because you have two pieces of clay and then push it into the same thickness of the wall, so there are a lot of squeezing. But if you cut 45 degrees, that you will have less. Just like we did our second project, right? The flower vase. Right, so that should be good. And then now you can open up. Basically, this template is just make your clay into the shape for forming your picture. And once you attach it, it's strong enough you can hold it in your hand, and then you do adjustment here. That's good here for now. Then I'm gonna bring my base. And let me put it on a piece of a board so it'll be easier. A newspaper there, right? And then put it over. Make sure that the shape is nice. So before you do that, a nice oval shape. Slightly adjust it. Okay. That looks okay. And I'm going to just trace it. Okay, you don't need to cut it yet because we need to put the slab of water for the joint, right? So just make a mark there, and then our famous toothbrush method. And if you wanted to, you can squeeze it into more oval shape. It's up to you. Get the clay is flexible. Okay, and also here too.
Sign your name first before you do that.
Yeah, you can sign your name first and do that. That's a good idea. But once you form it and your place in the data stage, you could rip it over easily. Yeah. All right. I'm just going to slightly chop up the clay from the corner. Do a little bit of use the gravity to push the joint a bit better. So now the water is holding the base in position. You can pick it up slightly and then just use the gravity. You drop it. Because when you have a pattern on the base, your base actually is not quite even. There is some spot that is higher than the other. So using this method, you will be able to drop down and your clay is going to join a bit better. Alright, so that's good. And then you can do your final cutting. Just go along with the right, so that's good. Here the a little bit uneven, you can do your final touch later, okay? Now the important part is the spout. You want the spout to be non-dripping spout. It's very important. And how do you make it into a non-dripping spout? So here I am going to use the sponge to slightly wet it. And then put my hand here and slightly push, right? You can use the sponge to push it. So that the spout here, the water, or the liquid inside in between, it's easier to pour it out. And then at the very tip of the spout, it's very important. You want to slightly have the lips kind of going down. So this part here, you have this part here slightly going down, right? So when you pour the liquid and you stop, and the water stops from there. It's without dripping all the way down here, alongside of it.
You make that look so easy, but it's so hard.
It's not hard, but just put your hand there and then
did it in 2 seconds.
right? The key is that you want to push that part here, right? I was using my finger there to push it down, and this hand slightly pinch up, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that is how you form this channel for the liquid. And then the very tip, you just go there and then slightly pinch down. Right? Pinch down. This part here, the unevenness, is very easy to fix it by using the paper towel, right? I don't recommend use of sponge because the clay, if your clay is very groggy, when you're using the sponge, you're going to drag out the grog. So use the paper towel would be smoother. Okay. Right, and now for the handle, right? People are wondering how do I make my handle? Let it sit there for a while, and then I'm going to make the handle. I will recommend use the fresh clay. Right. Slightly softer. Okay, this one is good. Okay. Fresh clay. On, squeeze it in your hand, make it longer. Make sure there's no air bubble. Right? And then you're gonna roll the coil. Okay. For rolling the coil, a lot of people do like this. No, okay? No. Use more of the area to do that. So you're gonna use the center, the whole area of your palm. And when you roll, you wanna roll it like that. You wanna have a longer stroke. Okay, longer stroke. Longer stroke. That way you will get it more evenly. If you do that, you're going to flatten it. Once the coil has been flat, it's hard to get it roll freely. So you want to go longer stroke and then slightly kind of push, stretch it. So your coil will be longer and longer when you stretch it. See that? I start from the center, right? And then my hand start to roll it outward. So that's how I roll my coil. Okay. It's too long. You see that? My coil is slightly tapered. One side slightly thicker, one side slightly thinner. Why I do that? Because usually when you make your coil, you want to get to choose the section that is similar to the size of your body. Okay, so that's why I roll slightly taper. So once I form my handle, this section is good to fit the size, so I choose this section, or if this section is too good to fit the body. So that's the reason I am doing that. Good. So I would say this is the good size for this picture. Okay, and if you are not good at making your coil even, I have a tip for you. So use that, and then so you have a larger area than the center of your palm, right? You roll, and the same thing, right? You want to roll longer stroke. Okay, if you do that, and later you see that, see that it's bouncing now, right? So longer stroke, again, longer stroke. Now once it's getting over, it's very hard to get it back. Okay? It's very hard to get it back. Okay, right? That's one. We are almost done. So you are going to use that to kind of slightly compress it. And here is how you roll your handle. Roll it along one side, and then you can roll on the other. Right? So that is the handle. If you pick it up, see that? It's as good as a hand pull. Hand pull. The key is you want to make sure your handle is nice evenly. And if you wanted to, you can also put if you want a texture, just do the same thing. You roll it. Right, so you put the texture onto your handle. Okay. And I wouldn't attach my handle right away. I will let it sit a while. Let it firm up a little bit and let it sit about like this way. And later, when it's a little bit firmer and this part here is a little firmer, it's a lot easier to join. Okay. All right. So before I go through the handle attachment, I like to show you how I finish up the rim. I was using the paper towel to go through that, so now you can see the rim is smooth. And also I get a wooden stick going there and then kind of smooth it, kind of spray the clay, so the inside is much cleaner without see the same line, okay? And then for the base, now this one is it's like more almost the data hard stage, so it's very easy to do, and you can use this to cut it even better, so you could get a better looking of the base instead of a, because when you cut it's still not quite perfect, the oval shape, so you can use that. This tool is called show foam. It's a very good tool for hand built.
We don't have to wait till it's leather hard to do that.
You don't have to wait till it's leather hard to do that, but you want to wait till slightly stronger so you will be able to pick it up, handle on your hand without deforming.
Okay.
Yeah, and then just use the paper towel to smooth it further so the base looks much better. Okay, that is how I finish. And then I use a finger to run through it so that the texture from the paper towel will be removed. Okay, like that. And you can sign your name. Okay, so that is how you finish up that spout. And then the handle is smaller, so it's right a little bit faster than the body, so I kind of keep it inside the plastic bag. And you can open up, like I told you that you still want to keep the moisture for your handle, so it's that it's still flexible. You can cut a section that is similar to the size and slightly curved, because when you're attaching it, you have a curve here, so you want to follow the curve. So you got a slight curve on your handle, right? So you see that handle is fitting there. For a better contact, usually I like to use some, you can use a tool, or you can just use your fingernail and tap on it. Make the joint a little bit rough.
You don't want to use a toothbrush?
I will use the toothbrush, but the point to tap on it is I want to open up. See that? This one is slightly open up, so you have a more clay come in, and later you can use the clay to smooth it. Okay? So tap on it to make the surface, the joint, the contact slightly wider, bigger, and then you use the brush to brush, so you just make you slip right out of the spot. You can make you slip right out of the spot here on the back of it. Okay, and put your hand behind it and slightly squeeze it. Okay, you want to push it firmer, so that's why you want to make sure your handle is slightly stronger, so when you push it, you don't squeeze it and mess up the spot. And hold it there in position for maybe like 30 seconds. So to have the body draw more water from, if they are not in the same dryness, you hold it there, so the body is going to draw more water from the handle. Okay. And then after that, just let your handle hang it down naturally. Depending on what the size, it's personal preference, but at least for the size of this container, at least you want to have 2 fingers to go in smoothly. Okay, you could go 3 fingers, all the fingers if you have a large one, all the fingers, so it's more stronger. But for the size like this, 2 fingers. Okay, of course when you join, make sure you line up in the middle. Okay, that's very important. And check that. This is where I'm going to joint, right? So that, and you can go from the side and see what the curve look like. If you like the curve, you know, go higher, you can make it higher, right? Or if you go low, you can make it low. It's personal preference. Okay? But you want to be for comfortable of holding the handle. So just make sure that you go through there, your finger is more comfortable to hold it. And this is where I'm going to attach it. You can score it, or you can use a toothbrush too, right? That's where I am going to do the joint. That, and this is the spot I wanted to joint. Slightly use a toothbrush to wet it, and go there and make sure that is straight. Okay, and again slightly pressure, so I put my hand inside behind it while I'm pushing it down. And you can just chop that excess of clay off the bottom. Chop it off. And if you wanted to, you could just put the finger there to press firmer, like that. It's a lot of a way to attach it. You can just push there, or you could go put a little bit of water, and then push that and smooth it. The water there to smooth it. So this method is called fish tail, like fish tail. Push that, or you can just squeeze it, pressure, and maybe put some. If you want to do it, you can put your stem there, right? Put the stem there, put the stem there. Oh, that decoration. It's up to you. But the key is slip, pressure, and you can join two pieces together much easier without falling apart. Okay, without falling apart. That is the joint, and then I wouldn't do it now, but maybe I will wait like 10 minutes later. I will get the needle tool there and kind of smooth it. See that? We push that, so we have an excess of clay there to come in, and we can use that clay to kind of blend two pieces. Blend your handle together with the body. Okay, so that's how I make my handle.
The handle looks so nice.
You make it look so easy.
It's pretty easy way to make the handle. Okay?
You got it?
You got it? All right?
Yeah.
All right,
Do
good.
it 1,000 times and it'll finally get easy.
Yeah.
After 1,000 times. Yeah.
All right. So I will put the demonstration on my YouTube. If you have missed it, you can rewatch them, okay?